Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome to a very cold but lovely and sunny Wednesday morning. It is bitter this morning, absolutely bitter, and it has been for the last couple of days. As you can see, we've had more snow. We had quite a good covering yesterday morning when I woke up for work, and it snowed on and off all day, and then sort of stopped at lunchtime, and by the time I went home from work all the snow had gone. I was a bit disappointed, but never mind. And I wasn't expecting any more, and then I've got up this morning and we've had more snow. It doesn't show it off too grand here in the field, but if you come down the back lanes it does. So how is everybody this morning? I hope we're all looking after each other, and I hope we're all keeping safe. If you have to venture out today, please be careful and please wrap up warm. And just as a little mention, because the weather is so cold, please remember to feed your birdies and your wildlife, because they're going to struggle to find food because the ground is froze solid. So please put some food out for the wildlife. I'm sure they'll be very happy. So this morning, lovelies, I thought we would have a little discussion about strange things that I've been asked, and maybe you guys have been asked, about when people find out that you are witch, Wiccan, druid, pagan. It does stun me sometimes, and it does make me giggle when people come up, sort of shuffle up beside you looking all sheepish and say, I don't want to offend you, but I've heard you're a witch. And it just makes me giggle. So I thought we'd throw a few questions out there, and if you've had any replies, or if you've made any replies to these questions, I'd love to hear them, because some of them are quite funny and some of them are so old-fashioned in their ways. You think, really? So the first question I've been asked is a three-parter. So the first question of the umbrella, shall we say, is, oh, if you're a witch then you must be in a coven. No, I'm not in a coven. I'm what you call a solitary witch. Not all witches are happy being in a coven. I'm not. I'm not comfortable with people I don't know. Some witches like to be in a coven. They find solace in other witches. They like to share things with other witches, and yeah, that's a good idea. You can all help each other out. And some witches, like me, I like to be solitary. The second part of it is Oh! Well, if you're a witch and you're in a coven, then you must dance naked round a bonfire in the middle of the woods. You what? Sorry? Number 1. I'm not in a coven, as I said before. Number 2. I don't meet in woods with other witches. And number 3. I certainly do not dance naked round a bonfire in a wood. Nobody wants to see that. It's scary. And the third part of the question is, well, if you're a witch in a coven and you dance naked round a bonfire, then you must have these sexual orgies going on. Again, what? Sorry? Sexual orgies? Nobody told me there were sexual orgies going on. Where was I when the memo was given out? No, seriously. No. We do not have sexual orgies in woods or anywhere else. What people get up to behind closed doors with consenting adults is their business. Leave them to it. The second question I've often been asked is, oh, if you're a witch then you must do sacrificing. Pardon? What do you mean? Well, you know, all witches, they have to do a sacrifice. What books are you reading? No, we don't sacrifice anything. As a witch, I honour all that lives and breathes. Whether that be a human, whether that be an animal, or whether that be fauna and flora. It is not for me to take another life. I honour living things, I don't take it away. And apart from that, murder is wrong. You get sent down for things like that. It's messy. Nobody wants that. And as a sub-note, no, we don't eat children and we don't eat babies. I don't know where you've got these ideas from, but we certainly don't eat children and we don't eat babies. The other question I was asked was, well, if you're a witch you must own a cauldron. Yes, I do. I have a cauldron. I have a small cast iron cauldron that sits on my altar that I used for spells, burning intentions, when they think of cauldrons, I think they're thinking of big cooking pots that they sit over flames, as in bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. I mean, years ago all households had those big cooking pots that sat over an open fire, and it was always called a cauldron until the wonderful marvels of modern invention, they were phased out. I don't know if you can see, but look, can you see the birdie prints? Aren't they pretty? Oh, I'll just dive walk there. But yes, I do have a cauldron, and most people look at me slightly gone out when I say I do have one. Another question I've been asked is, well, if you're a witch, you must converse with the devil. And I'm like, pardon? Right, I'm going to clear something up now. I might upset somebody somewhere along the way. The devil does not exist. The devil is a construct made up by people who thought that if they scared their flock and their congregation, they could keep them all in tow and all in line, and make sure that they do as they're told. So no, I don't converse with the devil, I don't hang out with the devil, I don't sleep with the devil, I don't worship the devil, because the devil doesn't exist. Sorry to disappoint. Other questions I've been asked, this is another two-parter, of those who've watched things like Salem, who may have read a little bit about the witch trials and things like that, was, if you're a witch, do you have the mark of a witch, the mark of the devil, and do you have a familiar? Now, it's a joke in my house. As you know, I've got Lou. Now, when I went to go and look at Lou at the RSPCA, the first thing I said to the chap that got her out of the kennels was, "Oh dear Lord, she looks like a wolf." And he said, everybody says that. I didn't have her because she looked like a wolf. I had her because she was such a lovely dog. She needed a home, and she needed somebody that would give her the time. So the joke is, in our house, yes, I have a familiar, her name is Lulu. And the other one is the mark of the devil. According to medieval myth and legend, if you were a witch, you had the mark of a devil. Now this, as we know now, comes into forms of birthmarks, moles, some people grow third nipples, extra fingers. It's just traits people have, small birth defects. But in medieval England, this was a sign that you were a witch and you were conversing with the devil, because they were classed as teats, so that your familiars could suckle from them. So, let you into a secret. Just above my left knee, I have a 10p shape and size mole. I've had this mole for years. It doesn't hurt, it grows very slowly. Half the time you forget it's there. But the joke in my house is, oh dear, we know Mum's a witch. Look, she's got the mark of the devil. So yeah, all right then. If you're gonna split hairs about these things, yes, I have the mark of the devil on my knee, and I have a familiar, Lulu. Another question I was asked was, oh, do you do spells? Do you have voodoo dolls? Can you make people disappear? I'm like, really? You need, explain yourself. Do I have voodoo dolls? Yes, I have voodoo dolls. No, I don't use them because I bought them last year from Poundland when I did my Samhain altar, and I had silly little voodoo dolls hanging around all over the place. No, I don't use voodoo dolls. I wouldn't know where to begin with a voodoo doll. Do I do spells? I've dabbled. I've done a few intentions, maybe a good luck spell here. Do I do spells to banish people? No, I don't. I don't do spells that could either harm people or upset people or make their life awful, I don't do it, because to me that's dabbling in the dark side, and I do not dabble in the dark side. I'm much happier doing spells that would help Mother Earth or help somebody in particular. I don't go out with the intention of casting a spell to cause pain or upset somebody. It's not me, it's not how I work. I'm an empath. So those of you who are empaths will know that we feel human emotion and or energies from buildings or objects, and it affects us, and it affects us deeply. So no, we don't. I don't do spells to upset people or hurt people or harm people. It's not what I do. My role as a witch is to honour the living, all living souls, to honour all nature and wildlife, to bring good for people, not to hurt, not to maim. That's not what I do. So, lovelies, I hope you've enjoyed our little chat in the snow. If, like me, you've been asked these rather weird and wonderful questions, then please put your comments below in the bottom, because I'd love to hear them. And if we can educate one person at a time about witchcraft and paganism and Wiccan and all the other little subcultures that we come under, then, you know, our job is done. Our work to make us known will not be shrouded in mystery anymore. So, as always, look after yourselves, be good to each other, and I'm sending you much love and many, many blessings.